May we have your name?
My name is Helene Littke.
And what's your affiliation?
I'm a PhD student at the Royal Institute of Technology here in Stockholm, Sweden. And I'm affiliated with the group that is organizing the conference. I'm getting a scholarship from the Axel Johnson Foundation that makes my PhD possible. So I'm very happy to be here and meet all the interesting and fascinating people that are coming here from around the world to talk about placemaking.
That sounds terrific, and it sounds like the conference is very much in your area of research. Can you tell us a little more about that and about what you'd like to see come out of the conference?
Absolutely. My area is I'm directing my research towards urban green structures and green elements, and from a more user perspective, and see what roles and functions we ascribe green structures and green elements and how that relates to behavior in public space, because green places and parks, street trees and flower beds are very important in how we perceive public space and how we use them and how they look and how they function.
And this is the notion of biophilia, that we have an innate love of green environments and so on?
Very much, because there is a connection between people and nature. We love nature, and nature in urban settings is therefore very important to make people feel good. It's about well-being, it's about preference, it's about aesthetics.
And it's been argued that if we want more ecological, more compact cities, we really have to make sure these kinds of amenities are there to draw people, to make sure these more dense cities are more livable, right?
Absolutely, because when you have a dense city, you have maybe not as much land resources, and then you have to work very well with the resources you have to be able to have green spaces that everybody in the city can enjoy and visit.
There's been some criticism of biophilia, that it's not rigorous enough yet, that there needs to be more research, and I guess this ties into the whole field of evidence-based design and the notion of more research, and you're working in this area. What are your thoughts on where the state of the research is and what else needs to be done?
I definitely agree that we need more research, and that's why one of the big reasons that I want to do this, because I feel I'm very interested in these subjects, and for me the connection between humans and nature is quite obvious, and I see it in my own feelings and my own emotions towards urban green space. So that's why I think that this is very much true, that there is a connection between people and nature, and we need more research, and I want to do my best to contribute to this field of work.
There's also this notion of evidence-based design, which I understand is connected to biophilia. But there are some arguments that you can't just take research and then a design pops out from that you actually have to do it as a more iterative kind of process of more like the way a doctor treats a patient. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, I completely agree. And we have different cultures and different societies that have different kind of connections to nature, and not at least to talk about different biotopes. So we have to be able to see every location as something special, but maybe also acknowledge that there is need for nature and that human loves nature all over the world, but maybe have different kind of design features.
So it's not a mechanical research process, just as it's not a mechanical approach to city making, is that right?
Absolutely.
And the great urbanist Jane Jacobs talked about cities as problems of organized complexity. It sounds to me, in your describing your own work, that that's the way you're working, that all these variables are interconnected. It's not just one variable like what your research produces, but how that's connected to a number of other variables. Can you elaborate on that?
I completely agree, because when we talk about urban form, and also especially when we talk about green structures, we have so many different values and benefits that we can connect to them, from a scale of ecological functions, stormwater management, microclimate mitigator and so on. But we also have more social and psychological and cognitive values, that we are relaxed by seeing nature, that we feel good, that we have lower stress levels in a natural environment, and we have to connect all these values and benefits to make it to have a holistic approach to what kind of urban spaces we want.
And at the end of this conference tomorrow, there will be a declaration. There's some desire to create a final document. What are your thoughts on what that should have? What kind of specific ideas related to what you just described?
the whole place-oriented approach that's needed and that this conference wants to contribute with, in my view, relates very much to urban green space, because urban green space is also public space, and it's part of the whole network of spaces that we use in a city. And all public space is the stage of human life, so for me it's all connected and very, very much related to what I'm doing.